In many fanworks based on the Mother/EarthBound series, it is very common to see Ninten, the protagonist of the first game, sporting a bandana tied around his neck. But it's a clothing item that is not present in his original sprite or in any official artwork from back then depicting the character, so what gives? Why is there this mass acceptance within the community that all fan interpretations of Ninten should come with a neckerchief? Well, I think this came from necessity. You see, it's a bit odd looking at this trilogy as a whole, because while the story of Mother 3 relies on Mother 2's and works as a clear sequel, Mother 2's plot is only very loosely connected to the first game. The subtitle for 2 is Geeg Strikes Back, so they do share an antagonist, but we can only speculate as to what happened to Ninten and how exactly Geeg transformed into something so completely unrecognizable from his debut appearance. Mother 2 is more like a reimagining of 1 than anything. And perhaps the best evidence of that is the character design of our main party. 3 out of the 4 members have obvious parallels to the initial cast. Here we've got a pair of boy geniuses wearing glasses, 2 girls in pink dresses possessing deadly psychic abilities, and a couple of baseball-loving leaders rocking striped shirts. Jeff is a more smartly dressed Lloyd with blonde hair instead of white, while Paula is Anna with an alternate hairstyle and no hat. Ness, though, is really just Ninten again. There can't be anyone on planet Earth who's not already familiar with the series who would look at these 2 characters and think they're different people. The yellow stripes on Ninten's blue and yellow shirt are thinner than the yellow stripes on Ness's blue and yellow shirt. Ninten wears his hat turned toward the left, whereas Ness has his skewed to the right. Really, the only notable difference is that Ness lugs around a backpack, but come on, these could pass as identical twins. Fan artists needed something more substantial to differentiate these boys named after Nintendo consoles, especially for fan-created media involving Ninten and Ness appearing together, like Psy-Universe and Mother Direct. So Ninten got a neck accessory. This particular garment wasn't an invention of the fans though. It actually came from a live-action commercial and poster created to advertise the game. In said ads, Ninten can be spotted wearing a blue, white, and orange striped shirt complemented by that famous bandana. While this version of Ninten is official in the sense that it comes from genuine promotional material, it's tough to accept this look as canon because he's only ever worn the outfit here. As an example of what I mean, even though Itoi gave his stamp of approval for the book, we don't consider the blonde-haired bomber jacket-wearing Ken from the novel to be a canonical version of this character, because that would contradict and override what we know about Ninten from the games, our primary source of information. Nintendo games like Super Smash Bros. Have solidified this as the Ness costume, though. So despite Ninten having started the trend, your average Nintendo fan wouldn't hesitate to call the OG an imposter. And the thing is, I think the fan artists are right. I like the commercial style for Ninten better than his in-game counterpart. What I would appreciate seeing then is a modern reinterpretation of Ninten, donning his more distinct attire from the commercial. That box art for EarthBound Beginnings a Nintendo of America employee likely whipped up in seconds sure is beautiful, but imagine a brand new render for Ninten. If there's ever another Smash Bros., which there probably will be with or without Masahiro Sakurai, I would love to see him as an Echo Fighter of Ness with the modified wardrobe. It would help further legitimize the look, and I think it'd do wonders in terms of drawing new Mother fans in. He must be important. Who is this kid, the official Nintendo mascot? More realistically though, I think this problem could be easily solved like most things in life by turning Ninten into a marketable plushie via the Hobonichi MOTHER project. There's already a stuffed Ness for sale, so we would have to see an updated design that draws a clear dividing line between the 2 heroes. It doesn't even have to be a plush doll. There's currently none of those fuzzy character magnets for any of the Mother 1 cast, so as long as it's a redesign of Ninten's model, I'd say it counts. As an aside, the lack of Teddy on this web store is a travesty. I think the chances of Itoi's company doing this are likely. I mean, Porky got his own line of merchandise, I think anything can happen at this point. And what's cool is that I strongly believe Ninten will get the bandana. This version of Ninten was semi-recently reprinted and sold via the art on the soundtrack distributed by Sony, and on Hobonichi as part of this past year's calendar. Some drawings of Ninten wearing a neckerchief even made it into Pollyanna 1 and 2, the official Mother comic books. So there you go, a simple question with an easy answer. We know why Ninten wears the bandana, where he got it from, and what I'd like from future iterations of this character. Do you agree that this is the best design for Ninten? How quickly would you purchase a Nintendoll? Like Nintendogs, but it's Nintendo? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this bite-sized video and that you'll join me for the meatier one next time. See you later.